Welcome to Devil's War Gameplay. This is going to be my thoughts on E3, the continuation of the first video that I made. And I'm going to get right into it. PlayStation 4. They came out with their show last night, and a lot of the games that they showed we've seen already, we were expecting. I was hoping that they came out with some new stuff, but I guess that they're gonna hold off on it until they show their PlayStation Experience. That's their other show that they do, and that should be coming up soon in a couple months. So we'll see what happens there. So as far as E3 is concerned with them, we kind of seen what they were going to show us already, with the exception of a few surprises. One of them, which was a great surprise. So God of War, we'll go into that. God of War is they're going into a new direction with God of War. It used to be a nice hack and slash game. I played all of them. I enjoyed them. So I'm interested in seeing this new direction. And I can't wait to play it. It's a lot more story driven. So we'll see how it goes. But they had a nice presentation of God of War. Uncharted Lost Legacy, which is the Uncharted DLC, it looks good. But what are you going to say about Naughty Dog, right? Naughty Dog, everything they put out looks good and plays well. So, excited about that. Horizon Zero Dawn, The Frozen Wilds DLC. I believe that's going to come out this year, probably holiday or fall. I'm not too sure. Can't remember what they stated, but I believe so. Either way, I can't wait to get back into Horizon Zero Dawn. I've platinumed that game, so I got everything on there. I've done every mission. I've played it to death, basically. And now all I do is mess around in photo mode and just go crazy, killing the robots whenever I'm bored. Days Gone. Now the zombie genre, they have drained that well, and they've beaten that horse to death. But with that said, Days Gone looks interesting. It's an interesting take on the zombie genre. Remind me of Sons of Anarchy mixed in with Walking Dead, you could say. But the zombies in the game, they remind me of the Flood from Halo. The way that they move and it's just, they overwhelm you with their numbers, but they look like their own entity, like a wave. And then, of course, they showed a weaponized zombie bear. I mean, once I saw the zombie bear, I'm like, oh, I'm in. Huh. What other zombified animals are going to be in the game? Then you have Detroit Become Human, and that looks like an interesting game. Kind of like, I guess, a butterfly effect, multiple story branches. Looks like it may have multiple endings. So it's a very interesting game. Don't know if I'm going to get it, but it's interesting. Then they came out and showed Shadow of the Colossus. And it's one of my favorite games. It's on my favorite games of all time list. And I can't wait to play that. I don't know if it's a remaster or if it's just a reimaging of the game. But it looks amazing. Then we got Spider-Man. Spider-Man looks fantastic. It looks like it has a mixture of open world elements with linear elements, quick time events. So we'll see how that plays out. But the gameplay looks smooth. The combat looks smooth. The voice acting was great from what I saw. And it's Spider-Man. I mean, we need a really good Spider-Man game right now, which we need it. And this looks like it looks like it will be it. But we'll see. Then they showed their third-party stuff: Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, Call of Duty, Destiny 2. You know, we've seen that stuff before. And then, tricky PlayStation here. They showed a game that initially I said, whoa, is this an exclusive? And if it is, man, I'm jumping on it. Which was Monster Hunter. It looked great. It looked good. And I'm a Monster Hunter fan. And I'm excited. I was excited. I'm like, I can't wait to play Monster Hunter and not be on a 3DS, not be on a small screen. Then they say that it's available, or I read that it's available for Xbox, or will be available for Xbox and PC. So with that said, I'm probably going to invest in the PC version to play Monster Hunter on my PC at 1440 resolution, 60 frames per second, or higher. That's going to look great. So with that, PlayStation pretty much was done. So my highlights are, God of War, Spider-Man, Shadow of the Colossus, and the Horizon Zero Dawn DLC. Next, we move on to Nintendo. Nintendo was today. Their event was today, and I sat down and watched it, and I was happy. I was extremely happy. I'm a Nintendo fan. Well, I'm a fan of all the game systems, but growing up, obviously playing Nintendo, they hold a special place in my heart. And my wife is a Nintendo fan. My kids, my daughter is 5 years old, and she has a 3DS and a GameCube in her room. And my son, he's a Nintendo fan too. We're not fanatics, but we're fans. Now, with that said, Nintendo had a great E3 showing for me. Personally, I believe everyone did a pretty good job in E3 this year, although I wanted more from PlayStation, and I wanted more from Xbox in terms of I wanted them to have exclusive games that were exclusive to the Xbox One, not throw it on PC and Xbox One. But I understand the merger that they're having with Windows 10. It's all Microsoft anyway, right? So I understand it. But then Nintendo comes out and we have Xenoblade Chronicles 2 coming out holiday of 2017. So right away, that's awesome. It's coming out holiday season. I am a fan of the Chronicles, Xenoblade Chronicles saga. So can't wait to play it. It looked good on the Switch. They showed Kirby and Yoshi, which right away, my wife and my daughter, they're going to get those games. No doubt about it. So I'm definitely getting Xenoblade Chronicles 2. My son's going to probably play it too. And Kirby and Yoshi, my daughter and wife will play that. They talked about Pokemon RPG coming out a little over a year, they said. I guess it's in development now, and maybe a year or two, it'll be ready. So I'm guessing that they mentioned it because people were upset about the Pokemon information that was revealed a few days ago with Pokemon Tournament DX, which I will be buying for the Switch. And then they did remakes on the 3DS of Pokemon Sun and Moon, I believe. So people were upset by that, not coming out with a brand new Pokemon game. So they released a little bit quick info of a Pokemon RPG coming out. Then they show Breath of the Wild DLC coming out June 30th, which I'm surprised by that. I initially thought that the DLC, they were going to release information or release it in August. But June 30th, great, which means I got to get cracking and get back into Breath of the Wild to finish it. They showed Breath of the Wild amiibos, some new ones, which I'm going to have to, once they're released, I got to run to the store and buy them. As you can see, I only have a few Breath of the Wild, actually one Breath of the Wild amiibo, because they were sold out within minutes of them releasing in the stores. They talked about Rocket League. They showed Rocket League, and I think Rocket League is a fantastic game to have on the Switch. Perfect game to have on the Switch. And it's coming out holiday 2017. And they talked about crossplay. So I could be on the Switch, my son could be on his Xbox, or vice versa, or PlayStation, or PC, and we can all play together, which, that's great. And I hope that PlayStation, Sony goes forward with this because I've been hearing that Xbox wants that to happen, and Xbox wants to have third-party titles being able to play with PlayStation 4. I mean, how cool would it be for me playing with upper echelon crew that's on PS4, and we're playing with Xbox One? You know, Xbox One, PS4 reversing each other. That'd be awesome. So Rocket League, perfect game to have on the Switch. Super Mario Odyssey, which they stated coming out in October, and that game looked great. I mean, it looked fantastic. It looked, they had some new mechanics that they were showing, throwing your hat and being able to control the enemies. That looked pretty cool, and it looked good running on the Switch. So definitely a game that I will be also buying. Fire Emblem Warriors coming out holiday 2017. They showed some footage on that. It looked more of a story mode. I still want to see gameplay on it, but I have played Fire Emblem. I love Dynasty Warriors, that franchise. It's a great hack and slash type game, so very interested in that. Probably picking it up. Then they showed us a nice surprise. Metroid for the 3DS, which they said is a Metroid 2 reimagining. So definitely going to pick that up, and that's coming out in September. So that was a nice little surprise for us, and it's something I was saying in my other video how I wanted Metroid. I wanted some Metroid information. So Metroid for the 3DS, you know, great showing there, Nintendo. But then they go ahead and speak on another Metroid game. And I stated in the other video, I am a Metroid Prime fan. I still play this game. I love this game. They go and show us Metroid Prime 4. They don't show gameplay, but they show the symbol, the number. They show the number 4. They show the name Metroid Prime, and you know, I almost jumped out of my chair. So I was happy with that. The nice thing is that, with the exception of the Pokemon RPG, Kirby, Yoshi, and Metroid Prime 4, all the other games that I mentioned are coming out, you know, within a couple months or by the end of the year. And that's great. The Switch needs that. The one thing that I will say is, for Nintendo, I think they would have blown the doors open on E3 if they would have, you know, doing what they did already, but if they would have talked about their online service a little more, and if they would have opened up the virtual console. I mean, that's what's missing for the Switch right now. But with that said, those are my thoughts on this year's E3. Ubisoft did great. Bethesda did good. I mean, everyone did pretty good. Nintendo, for me personally, did a little bit better, and that's only because most of the stuff they talked about is coming out this year, or by the end of the year. And most of the stuff that they talked about, I'm going to be purchasing. So, yeah, E3, come and gone. I'm going to be doing more of these type of vlogs. This is only my second one I've ever done. So, I'm going to do more when it comes to the gaming information, talk about gaming news, maybe start a little segment there. And definitely when the PlayStation Experience comes on, I'll be talking about that and my thoughts there. Other than that, I mean, please like, comment, and subscribe. And thanks for watching Devil's War Gameplay.